Hello everyone, welcome to the promised speed draw video that I did for Jazza's Jazzy Color competition. I started off by taking Jazza's line art and giving it a redraw in my own style, giving each line some variation in its thickness, changing the definition, maybe slightly altering the course of some of them, and giving them more detail. Doing this also helped me to get a better grasp on the layout of such an abstract piece, which allowed me to come up with a better idea of where each piece of line traveled and the story that I wanted to tell within each one. As usual, I started off with my little ghosty boos, drawing them in, adding details, shading, etc., stars, just my general style. I've been a huge fan of drawing dragon scales on everything lately, so the next one got that treatment. I proceeded to do my trademark curly vines, but decided against it on this one and instead went with some fancy diamonds. I then did more of my ghosty boys in all of the little tiny ones that look like the size of dominoes. Essentially, I wanted to create a cohesiveness throughout the entire piece, not just a bunch of randomness, but an underlying theme of sorts to really tie the whole thing together. On the diamond piece, I played around with making the diamonds glow over a gradient of colors that I typically use in most of my artwork. I made a gradient filled with stars to act as a background that will tie together the piece on the other side as well. Then I did my favorite part, which is a gradient of red to pink that I made drip, which I thought was super cool. I also did this on the other side later on. I decided to harken back to some old school Booter Cup and decided to do some graffiti art. I made this have a background of just a general brick wall. Did my graffiti style, spray painted the heck out of it, just had a lot of fun with that. You can see the drippy effect going on like I said it would on the other side, carrying on adding details, adding highlights, and adding shading throughout the whole piece. Again, as I mentioned before, I made this starry night sky go through a lot of it because I kind of wanted the whole thing to feel ethereal, magical in a sense. I then pulled in one of my favorite photos of some drip paint cell art that I've got, made it fit one of the pieces as best as I could, and then I altered the colors to more tie the piece together with, the pinks and the purples instead of it being a jarring sort of orange and blue. I dropped in another abstract paint splatter piece for one of the other lines, threw in some solid colors in multiple lines with some gradients, had fun just sort of filling this bad boy in, giving everything, like I said, highlights with light to kind of give a light source up above, just reflecting off of the whole piece. As you can see, I threw in another background abstract paint and then started to fill in some of the more tiny details. I decided to go ahead and throw in my little windy vines like I had done at the beginning, changing it to a difference overlay so that it looked more cohesive. I added a lot of runes throughout this whole piece. Let me know if you know what they say. I went through fine-tuning, adding some more small details, some more runes, some more ghosty boys. Then I decided to also add and continue that little ocean piece I did with the whale, doing some jellyfish and a submarine, just to kind of tie the whole piece. So you can see that these pieces continue on throughout the whole thing. It's so abstract and beautiful, and I love the way it ended up. The colors are so vibrant to me. I absolutely adore this. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.